Anyway, on to the next topic. Oh, this topic is near and dear to our hearts or to my heart. I don't know because we really care. Let me see. All right. Let's see. The WNBA. The show may go on. Let's see.
Now, with the latest on the groundbreaking verbal agreement between the WNBA and the Players Association, with star players reportedly set to earn more than $1 million for the first time in league history. And joining us live for her first interview since striking the monumental new deal is WNBPA president and 10-time All-Star, Nneka Ogwumike. So good. Now we can exhale because you know you had fans holding their breath. This has been called a transformational deal, and in so many ways, it has been historic for women's sports. Just talk about how important this is and what this means.
Yeah, there's not a lot of details that I can share because we're still trying to finalize the term sheet. But we've been able to kind of preempt the players about what it is that they're going to be voting and ratifying, and that includes increases in obviously salary, minimum, average, and max. It includes retirement benefits, specifically something that reflects our appreciation for those who came before us and our legends. And I mean, we wouldn't be here without people like you, without so many of the players that have created this thing today.
And it wasn't just about
she
the
plays
salary
right now.
benefits. So you did want to get paid what you
talking
were owed,
about-
for sure. But it's housing, other aspects beyond salaries.
Yes.
No, I think she's just been on the news for a long time.
So why was she talking about her? She ain't lace him up and get out there. But I get what
let me
you're
see.
saying.
Hold on. I don't know. I could be wrong, no. There's a. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yes, absolutely. Housing, as we so passionately voiced, was something that was very important to us. We're in this transitional state. We are declaring our value. We're fighting for what we deserve and what we're owed, but that also still requires certain benefits that provides the support for us to be able to perform at a high level. And we're thinking a lot about the players that exist today. And also the amount of money that they can save to build for the future that they really desire for themselves, but then also the players that are coming in who are themselves their own businesses, but still navigating that very tight transition from being in was key. I feel like we can't necessarily see them as like roadblocks or obstacles.
So I'm gonna stop it right there because there's a whole lot of talking going on, and I wanted to kind of her to get to the point of what was happening. And so basically, and I'll just kind of give it to you in a nutshell. They have basically sat down, they talked about terms, and now those terms have to be voted on by the players and by the league. Okay. And so I know you're probably like, what are those terms? Let me see. Let me do this. And I have like a brief description of what some of those terms are. All right, so I made it larger so you guys can see it. So the 2026 WNBA Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA, is a historic 7-year deal featuring a massive salary cap jump to approximately $7 million per team, nearly quadrupling the 2025 cap. Its mandate average salaries over $585,000. The supermax would be $1.4 million, and a 20% revenue share for players, alongside guaranteed charter flights, improved housing, and increased maternity benefits. So basically, supermax is like the high level contract for players. So like your players like the MVP of the league, she'll probably see like a supermax deal. And then like the average player salary, I'm sorry, not average, but that's what they say. Like the average player salary would be close to 600,000. And then there was a minimum salary that I also heard, but I can't recall quite what that is. I think it was somewhere around $200 to $300,000, like the lower level contract. But they'll get travel and housing as well. and this is the important part. This is something that we talked about again quite a bit. It says players will receive roughly 20% of gross league and team revenue, a significant increase from the previous lower percentages. I mean, to me, I think that that uh that makes sense. It's based
Yeah.
on league revenue and growth. Like that's what I was talking about. And maybe they got it preemptively, but I think a plan needed to be set into place so the expectations can be set and they wouldn't be going back and forth, with this whole agreement and the league could start. Um, I will say this, and this may be a hot take, so maybe I should say clip it. I don't think the person that caused this will get any credit for it. And y'all could, you know, throw darts at me if y'all want to, but y'all wouldn't be here. And let me say this: there were people that came before you, but somebody who put a a a sign out like we're here, we want more, we're becoming more skilled was Caitlin Clark. She's the one who got the buzz, and like I said, that's hot take. Y'all might not like it, but she's the one who brought more buzz to the league. Her and Angel Reese, I have to be 100% ain't her and Angel Reese, but Caitlin Clark was the one that people were talking about, before she came to the league. I heard about her before she came to the league. A lot of these women I hadn't even heard about, like until I started actually to maybe turn on the game, which was rare.
Uh,
But I guarantee, that she won't get the credit for it. And she's probably not saying, "Oh, I'm the one that did it." But if you are realistic, we talked about being objective. Like if you objective, she's the one to put a spotlight on the league. People were watching her college games because they wanted to see her play. People were and the people were waiting for her to get drafted to see her play. Her games were damn near, if not sold out. Indiana Fever games, not the other games. Viewership, viewership for those other games weren't there, but for her games when they played, hey, they wanted to see her play, and so I'm I don't know why you came here anyway, but anyway, uh, I I'm happy for him. It hasn't been finalized yet. Again, the league has to vote on it and the players have to vote on it. I think it's a win for the players. Like I would sign this right away. Like, hey, I'm signing, you know, and then we have to wait on the league to sign or the owners to sign. So I think it's a dub for him. And then people like we got Juju Watkins coming, she's up next to take it to the next level. Like there was no buzz. Be honest, y'all. There was no buzz like this with this league prior to Kalen. From my maybe I was just out of touch, and that could be the case. And the difference is like showing appreciation. Yeah, for those who came before you, but also showing appreciation for her for putting the spotlight on the league. Y'all don't have to, I'm not saying kiss her feet and I feel like that, like she Jesus, but it is what it is. And I'm done, man. I'm not gonna go too hard on the man.
Gonna pull it back a little bit, huh? All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all in a nutshell, I'm happy that they were able to get the deal done. I do understand what, people are saying in terms of talent and buzz being created. I do, understand what you're saying in terms of, players coming along and, allowing for that next level up to happen. But, in order for that to happen, the infrastructure and the people that came before, that laid that groundwork, had to be done. So each person, provides, a level or step to move forward or move up, in a direction that, people can, be paid what they believe and feel like they should be paid, for their level of contribution per se. So understanding that, you know, how it's set up and what it's producing, are two different things. They're not congruent, you know, or co-spirit with each other because, we can kind of see the lopsidedness to that. But just to speak in terms of, the sure tenacity and talent level that are starting to come into the league, these may be based on projections. A lot of time when people get contracts, say like the NFL, it's based on, what you did and what your current numbers are, and after that, usually there's a decline that may come for a player or it can be sustained to where you keep getting your money's worth. So it's all about the players that you are paying this money. You want these players to be draws or, your best marketers in terms of their level of talent that brings people, into your arenas or into, people being a fan. It's a give and take. It's not just one side. It has to be, levels of things happening for this to make sense. It can't just be feel good. It can't just be, oh, well, these ladies did it or these ladies came before them. So, we got to do it this way. It doesn't really work that way. In a nutshell, it feels good to say it, but again, we want to make sure that this makes dollars and cents. So how they set it up and how they did it, it's definitely going to be beneficial, I believe, for everyone. And continuing forward, there can be some things that people may say about it, but I'm pretty sure as you look back, this would be something that would allow people in the future to kind of see, why it was done the way it was done. And I'm sure, you know, they'll start to be profitable real soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll we'll have to see. The problem with that is that a lot of the people that are advocating for them um are some of the people that play in the NBA or that are males. I know a lot of males. I know a lot of NBA players that talk, great about the WNBA. But then you have the other group of people like the women, that don't care. They barely know who's playing on the men's side, on the NBA side. And so, they need more people like willing to watch their games. And I think, and the reason why I said that Caitlyn uh was a step up because the game and the product what didn't look as great. I'm gonna just be honest. And like maybe she calls them to step up their game. Like Asia Wilson was balling, you know what I'm saying? But then if for those who paid attention, when Caitlin Clark came into the league, she was throwing them her teammates passes up the court. She was dropping dimes to them, and they was dropping the ball out of bounds. Like she had a gang of turnovers early on, you know, uh, because of that. I mean, if you think about it, if you look at the NBA when before Magic and Bird came into the league was was terrible. The league was terrible. They were on the verge of closing. If you want to look it up yourself, you can. But the league was on the verge of going down, like closing the league up, closing the league down, shutting it down because the product was so terrible. But uh, when Magic the Bird came, they turned things around. They turn things around. And so, and then you have Michael Jordan come right after him. And so that's something that, that's what I'm referring to. Having yeah, there were people that came before Magic and Bird. You got Wilt, you got Kareem was even there. You got Jerry West, all them cats. Like, yeah, they're legends. You know what I'm saying? They're legends. You know, but somebody had to take the mantle and move it forward. And so that's all I'm saying. And I'll say this last thing. That's not all I'm saying. I'm lying. The last thing I would say about it is that I think the thought process before, was, oh, we need money because we were profitable. And I think the expectations were unreasonable because you had been unprofitable for all these years. And so it's like, hey, we need to make sure we maintain and continue that progress. And so I think setting it up to where it's tied to revenue growth, it makes sense.
Hey,
So I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, man, shout out to the WNBA, man. Like honestly, I hope you guys come to an agreement and the vote is, in your favor. And we'll see what happens, man. Hey, you're gonna have a lot more WNBA players flying people out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, minimum salary 600,000. Hey, you can fly a couple people out, Hey, come meet me in my city. I'm playing out here. Hey, come pull up. Yeah. When I get done playing, I want you in my hotel room. But anyway, man, on to the next thing.